Thank you. Just to remind you one more time, this is called Last Saturday, and it's when we get local poets to come in and read their poems. We're actually very excited. We have, like Dr. Boylston, several published poets who are coming in to share their poetry with our community. I also want to let you know that we have a contest that's coming up that's being sponsored by Fill Your Cup called the Fort Bend Poet Laureate Contest, in which children in school will be able to participate, but also adults will be able to participate, and the winners of the contest will win the title of the 2010 Fort Bend Poet Laureate. So it's quite a distinguished honor. It's going to be judged by some great poets. It'll be a great way to get exposure for your poetry. So if you know of poets or potential poets or just creative people who may be able to express themselves through poetry, please tell them about Last Saturday. You can also write to us at fortbendpoets@ymail.com. Our website is fortbendpoets.org. My first poem, I, like Matt, was raised on a farm, and my brothers and I had to entertain each other because the nearest children lived several miles away from our farm. So each night we would make up games to play while we were laying in bed. This one's called Space Night. In the lukewarm oven of a summer night, my brothers and I lay quietly as boyhood dynamite dispositions permit. In our wrought-iron spaceships coursing through the cool purple void, attacked by spiny-armed monsters with pointy sideways mouths, who return to the cloaked form of crickets when Dad bursts through our bedroom door and utters the magical phrase that slays alien creatures. Shh. Thank you. I work for oil companies. I'm a consultant, and I have to travel pretty much. And I see a lot of people in airports and on airplanes, and this is one lady who struck me that just deserved a poem. It's called The Cell Phone Queen. The cell phone queen in seat 7C waits on a plane destined for Chicago. Her pyrite words bounce off the walls for the benefit of happenstance eavesdroppers. She wheels, deals, squeals, and guffaws into her wireless earpiece that isn't turned on. She smiles at her disinterested subjects.
At her disinterested what?
Subjects. My last poem is one of introspection. I was just discussing before the read things that I've gone through. I'm a cancer survivor, and I've had to travel. I was trapped overseas on 9/11, and there's a lot of stuff that went on in my life. So some of this had me re-examine myself, and this poem's about re-examination. It's called Autopsy. Last night, I performed my autopsy. I examined the bloody, ugly parts, traced the paths of the bullets and stab wounds that killed me. When I understood why I died, I sewed up my corpse, forgave my killer, then rose from the dead. Thank you one more time. This is Last Saturday, our poetry reading. Please ask your friends who are interested in poetry to please contact us. Our next one will be August 29th, when the poet Jane Chance will be here. She's a quite well-known poet here in Houston, so please don't miss that reading. You don't have to come only if you read. We want you to read if you're writing poetry, but if you just enjoy hearing poetry, please come and hear our great poets. I want to thank Dr. Matt Boylston for being here today. I also like to thank our readers, Yolanda Wilson and Miss Patricia Dixon. Thank you so much. Your work was just fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you all for coming to Last Saturday.